Hey Flosstube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 50. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support, all of your messages, all of your well wishes, everything you send my way. I read each and every one of them, and I really do appreciate all that you do. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch and some quilting, and I hopefully want to give you inspiration to fully finish your cross stitch and quilting pieces without worrying about things being perfect. What I have found with meeting people along the way, that every so often we all worry about things being perfect, and that keeps us from moving forward or finishing our own pieces. And I want to take that fear out of your cross stitching day-to-day life. So I'm back, episode 50. Thank you so much for your patience. Many of you have noticed that I have taken a very long break from not only Flosstube, but from social media. I've had a lot of things come up this year, right? So we all know I had a huge move come up recently. We moved out of our house of 20 years and we downsized considerably. So between my mother-in-law passing away in December, between spring break, my son and I both had COVID in January, just so many life events come up over the last few months that I feel like I lost my cross-stitching mojo, right? It happens to all of us. It is a real thing. It is, if there was a diagnosis in the cross-stitching world, losing your cross-stitch mojo is a proper diagnosis. And I felt like I was overwhelmed and I did not have my space. The move delayed me creating my cross stitch space. And so I'll get into all of that in a minute. But when I didn't have my space, I didn't feel inspired or motivated to do what makes me happy, which is cross stitch. And when you take that element out of your life that you're used to having, I feel like I just could not function. I felt like I just wasn't in my space. I wasn't in my right frame of mind. And I have said many times that cross-stitching is good for the soul, and I really felt that these last few months, because when you take it out of your life and you're not doing it as often as you're used to doing it, it's something just doesn't feel right in your heart and in your soul. And I don't want to go into all the details, but I really felt that. I really felt like I was missing something big. So thank you for your patience. I'm back. This is episode 50. Since I've been gone, we had a minor celebration, right? On April 1st was my Flosstube anniversary, my 1 year Flosstube anniversary. So thank you so much. I cannot believe I've only been doing this 1 year. It seems like so much longer because I have met so many of you, either through email or in person, and it has just been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And I am so glad that it has, we're now in year 2, and I cannot wait to see what this year brings for all of us. So let's recap, let's back up a little bit, and let me bring you up to speed what's been going on in my life. This video, I'm going to just bring you up to speed, bring you up to date, show you a little bit of haul and some gifts that I've received. I have not had a lot of stitching time. Back to what I was just talking about. I didn't have a space. I didn't feel the motivation to do so. So I just started cross stitching again this week after a few months of taking a break. And, but I do have some finishes to show you that my frame pieces that came in. So between all of that, this is going to be kind of a different video. Next Thursday, I'll get back in my swing of things and hopefully have more whips to show you. But let's just catch up. How's that? So grab your cup of coffee, grab your tea, whatever it is that you're drinking, eating, whatever you're doing. Let's just catch up, because I feel like I have a lot to share with you. So the last time I saw you, it was before spring break, which was back in early March. I had just come back from market, which was fabulous. So I did a market recap video in Flosstube number 49. So if you missed that, go check it out. Lots of great releases this next season. But when I saw you last, we were getting ready to go out of town for spring break. My daughter is a senior in high school, so now we're getting ourselves ready for graduation, which is in a couple of weeks. So we were going on spring break down to Florida, and it was a wonderful trip. My daughter wanted to do a small senior getaway with some of her friends. Most of her class took a big trip to Mexico, but she just wanted a small, intimate gathering. So we took 3 of her closest friends down to the beach, and we were able to see my sister, and I will insert some photos at the end of the video to show you, but we were able to see my sister. And so we went down to 30A, which is in the panhandle of Florida. My sister lives in Panama City, my sister Lisa. So she was able to come and visit and stay a couple of nights with us, which was wonderful. We had the best time. It was the first time we ever had a bonfire on the beach. It was just so much fun. The weather was cold. It was not beach weather, of course. It was in March, but it was wonderful, and it was so much fun to see my daughter share that time with her friends, and to see my sister and my son was able to have a good time. And we brought our good friend James and his friend Carol with us. So it was a wonderful trip. We're hoping to go back this summer, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. We're not sure yet, but it was a great vacation, much needed. But we were not very responsible. We probably should not have taken that trip, because we came back on a Saturday, and the next Friday we moved out of our house of 20 years. So we had to hit the ground running when we got home Saturday night. We did a lot of preparation work before we went out of town, but on Sunday through the rest of the week, it was cleaning, boxing, packing, bringing things to our new place. We decided to sell our house, which was it was a good size home. It was about 6,500 square feet. And so we decided that it was time to downsize. And with the market being the way it is, we decided now was a good time to do it. And we are now in a temporary home, which is in a golfing community. So we are in a villa, which is like a condo or a little cottage. And it's on the golf course, and it's wonderful. Now that we're settled in, it's wonderful. But it's a big downsize. So we spent that week when we got back from the beach packing and donating things, just getting ready for the move. The movers came on Tuesday, and we thought it would just take 2 days to get us moved out of the house. It took 4 days. So it was a lot of work. It was, we worked together as a team. It was a wonderful experience and an eye-opening experience. We realized that, you know, in our world that we live in, that we accumulate a lot of things, and over the years, 20 years in the same home, we accumulated a lot of things. And it was eye-opening to me to see all the things that I had that I didn't need. And so we donated a lot of things. We put some things in storage, and we gave some things to family and friends. So it was good to purge. It was good to go through that process, but it was very eye-opening. So hopefully we, going forward, will not get ourselves in that situation again. But it's good to go through that at least once. My children, that's the only home that they've ever known. So that was a bit of a busy week and an emotional week for them too, because that was their home. So, but now we are settled into our new place. It's very different. My space is different. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure out my table and setup. Here's half of my shelves. What took so long in me recording, one of the things that took so long was our movers. They had to take apart my bookshelves, which I didn't anticipate. I thought that they could just move it all as one piece of furniture, and they had to take it apart. So in doing that, which meant that I had to call my handyman to put it back together, which was fine. He's not a problem at all. Well, what happened was the movers put some of the pieces and crucial parts to my bookshelves in a garbage bag, right? Makes sense. Put what you need in a garbage bag. So they did that. They put it in a garbage bag, and when we were moving into the new place, the very last thing, they were so organized leading up to the last day, though. We were just like, just put anything anywhere. We were down to the wire. It was very stressful. And they said that they put that garbage bag in the garage of our new place. None of us found it. So I don't know if it got thrown away by accident. I don't know if it ended up on someone else's truck, but I was missing some crucial pieces to my bookshelves. But we didn't realize that until my handyman came to put it together. So I had to call IKEA. These bookcases came from IKEA, and they were wonderful. I did not know if they would be able to replace some of the pieces, because usually when you think of replacement pieces, you think of bolts and screws and, you know, those kinds of things. But I was missing actual wooden pieces. They were wonderful. Not only did they send me the missing hardware, but they sent me the missing wooden pieces as well, without charging me. Hands down, the best customer service ever. So I got those pieces in about a week and a half ago. My handyman came back out last Saturday, and he finished putting my bookshelves together. So I was able on Sunday to finish unpacking my room and putting things together. And through that process, it was very rewarding. I was able to organize my patterns a little bit better. I was able to figure out what kind of organizational pieces I needed. So that helped a lot with getting me moving forward to getting back into the swing of things, getting back not only into cross stitching, but to thinking ahead of what I want to do with my Flosstube videos. So my room is together. I still have some odds and ends I need to figure out what to do with. My room is very tight. I will do a quick little tour. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll do a quick little tour for you. It's a much smaller room. I do not have a closet. So I'm using attic space, I'm using some boxes. So it's going to require some creativity and not collecting as many things as I wanted. My shelves are now going to be more functional versus aesthetic. So I do have some of my things out that I like to use for decorations, but the boxes are used for storing patterns, they're used for storing fabric, stickers, some finishing pieces. I have a bookshelf behind the camera that has boxes for storing things as well. So it's going to require some creativity. I'm still trying to figure all of that out, but everything's put together, and that is wonderful. So that was a big part of my losing my cross stitch mojo, and it is a real thing. So I hear people say that often, and it is something serious. So I understand it. I really do now. One thing about this room, though, it is sort of a loft space, even though I have a door that closes and locks. It is a sort of a window and a cutout right here, and it looks over down into the living room. So I've jokingly told you before that you could hear my dog Bella snoring through the floor. Well, now you're going to be able to hear her through the window, because she is loud. We also hear the lawnmowers right now, but it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful community. We're right on the golf course. It's fun to sit outside and watch people play golf. We do not play golf. I don't know the first thing about golf, but it is interesting to watch other people do it. You will also hear sort of the household noises. You'll hear probably my son and daughter coming and going throughout the house. But that's okay. That's just the way it is. And we're cozy. We have a lot of together time, and it's wonderful. So like I said, that is a long story to tell you that I have taken a few months off. So I'm glad to be back. Thank you for your patience. Also during that time, my husband and I celebrated 21 years, our wedding anniversary. On April 21st, we've been married for 21 years. So, it's funny because I still think of us as young as we were when we met, even though I know we're not, but we've been married 21 years as of April 21st, and on Monday, the 25th, was my birthday. So April has been a very busy month, and going forward, my daughter graduates on May 15th. So the next few weeks are going to be lots of graduation ceremonies, lots of senior ceremonies. Tomorrow morning is a special ceremony. It's called the crane ceremony, and the preschool and kindergartners make the seniors little origami cranes, and they put them on a string, and the seniors go to the microphone and they say their name and where they're going to college, and then they go and they get a crane from one of the kindergartners. It's a very special ceremony, but it's also special for my daughter because she works in the aftercare at school, and those are her students, those are her kids that she works with. So she's exciting. But the symbolism of that ceremony is the older students leaving, but they're taking a piece of the school with them from the younger students. So it's so sweet and so special, and we're excited about that tomorrow. I'm also excited because my sister Lisa is coming to visit May 11th, and she'll stay through, and Dan, my brother-in-law, they'll stay through the weekend for graduation. So I will bring you all up to date and let you know everything that's going on. So that brings me up to date with what's been going on with me over the last few months, and I hope that you all have had some good stitchy time. I hope you had a wonderful Easter and enjoying your spring weather where you are. So let's go into, I want to show you my 2 framed pieces that I got back from the framer last week. I want to share those with you, and then I'm going to show you my haul and some gifts that I've gotten, and then a few whips. In this video, I will not have a giveaway or have giveaways, because full transparency, right? I'm always transparent with you all. I am just now getting caught up on all of the giveaways from the last video and the last few videos. That box, when we were moving, I put all of the giveaways in a box, and I just now got to that box. So I am just now getting all those things in the mail. I don't want to add to that load. So let's hold off on giveaways for next week. I'll be able to gather some celebratory giveaways for the 1-year anniversary, for our 50th video, and we're at about 8,600 subscribers. So next week will be a good giveaway week. So thank you for your patience with that. So let me show you my frame pieces that I got back from the framer this week. One piece that y'all have been following along with me, sorry about that, is I stitched Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. I stitched this piece in memory of my mother-in-law, who passed away on December 29th. And I started this piece the day she passed away. And my good friend Celeste of Celeste Creates stitched it with me. We started it at the same time, and I just loved how this turned out. So this is a pattern from With Thy Needle and Thread. It's called Indigo Lane. I used all of the called for colors, and I stitched this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. And I took this to a local framer. The name of the framing gallery is called Bennett, Bennett, and that's in Knoxville, Tennessee. And they did a beautiful job with the frame. Ramona, who is in charge of their framing department, who is the manager of their framing department, she is also a cross stitcher, a beautiful cross stitcher. And she is so good at selecting, not only with the framing of the piece, but she is so good with selecting the glass and selecting the frames, helping you pick out a frame to go with your pieces. Matthew did go with me to pick out the frame for this, because I wanted him to be a part of that process as well, because this is something I stitched in his mom's memory. And so I thought that it would be special for him to help pick out the frame. So let me bring it in a little closer. I did go with the museum glass on this. You still see a little glare from my ring light, but there is no glare from this. As of now, right now, I do not have this hanging on my wall, but I have it on a plate stand, and I have it on our counter in our kitchen. Our kitchen is open to the living room, and we spend a lot of time in the kitchen and a lot of time in that space, and it's in a spot where we all will see it every day until I figure out what I want to do with it. So this is how it sits on this stand. But I absolutely am so happy with how this turned out. Very pleased with it. I love the blues. I love the house. This is a blend of, and I've talked about it in previous videos, but this is a blend of DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. A beautiful blend of overdyes and DMC floss. So I'm just so happy with how it turned out. And that bluebird is beautiful. But this is called Indigo Lane, and it is from Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. So if you're having trouble finding it, let me know. But it is an older design of hers. So pretty. And it's a perfect size. Very easy to stitch. I think I think this took me maybe 2 weeks to stitch, but I wasn't stitching just this, but it was one of my focus pieces for that 2 weeks. So very beautiful. Had so much fun stitching it. So I got that back from the framer. Another one that y'all have watched me stitch over this past year is a Blackbird Designs. So this is actually stitched for a gift. So I'm going to ask that Kay Reese knows that she's receiving something from me, but Kay, look away, fast forward if you don't want to ruin the surprise. But I have been stitching or last year y'all saw me stitch the 'Tis the Season from Blackbird Designs, and this can still be found in one of their books, A Home for the Holidays. So I also took this to, let me stand up. I took this to Bennett Gallery, or Bennett, to have it framed. So here it is. I stitched this all using the called for Classic Colorworks Versoix silks. And I stitched it on 32 count Valor linen by Picture This Plus. And I love how this turned out. This frame is beautiful. She did a wider margin on this one because Ramona did from the framer, because she really wanted to pick up on the pattern or the modeling on the Valor linen. If you notice on this one, she didn't have as much of a margin. I think on this one she did an inch, and on this one I think she did 1.5 inches, just so you can see more of the fabric. But this was so much fun to stitch, and I can't wait for Kay to see it. I haven't mailed it to her yet because I wanted to show it here. So this will go in the mail to her tomorrow. So she has wanted that piece for a long time, and I just decided to stitch it for her. It's a late Christmas present. So that will go to Kay here pretty soon. So those are my 2 finishes that came back this week. I'm gonna go ahead and show you just the 2 pieces that I started on last night and this morning. I didn't start it on, one of them I started, the other one is one that I've been working on. So let me pull these over, and starting next week I will have more of my rotation going, and I'll be back in my routine, not only for these videos but for stitching. I'm still trying to get used to my stitching spot. This is one of my stitching spots behind us, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the videos in here. But I'm also going to have a stitching spot downstairs. Just right here, it's a little tight, but it's private. So I'll be stitching up here some and downstairs some. So we'll see. I'm still trying to figure it out. Still working through all those kinks. So many of you know that I like to stitch tomatoes on Tuesdays. I love sewing tomatoes, and I've been stitching Tomato Tuesdays. And if you want to follow along, you can use the hashtag or follow the hashtag Tomato Tuesday. But I have been stitching or started stitching a few months ago with Thy Needle and Threads, Queen of the Needle. And I worked on it a little bit this morning. I got up early, had some coffee, and today I worked on some more of the sleeves, outlining the sleeves and filling in the dress. And I really do like the blue. This is Jaybird Floss. The blue is Jaybird by Weeks. I'm using all the called for colors, and I am using, on this one, I am using 32 count Country Mocha, not Vintage Country. So the Vintage Country Mocha linen is the one with the modeling on it. The Country Mocha does not have the modeling. So this is 32 count, and I do plan on finishing this into a pillow. To put it in my bookcase or in a dough bowl. So I'm enjoying this one too. Glad to pick it back up. And then a new start that I had last night, I joined in with some cross stitch friends on a Zoom call, which is a wonderful way to stay connected with your cross stitch friends, or any friends for that matter, is having like a Zoom call or a FaceTime call. It's so much fun. You get to chat and stitch at the same time. It's almost like you're together. So I started last night. I did not iron any of these pieces for y'all, but I started last night for a friend of mine, my friend Kim Gavlik. We both like Frida Kahlo. I've told y'all that before. And we decided this year to stitch each other a Barbara Anna design piece of Frida. So she stitched one for me, and I started dreaming Frida for her. And this is so much fun. It has a lot of fun colors. It's very bright, it's very cheerful. I thought it would be the perfect piece to start back cross stitching last night. And I had so much fun. Here's my little start. I started in the middle on this one, which is right here. So this is where I'm showing you, is this little piece right here below the sun. And in her hair, you can see it says Viva la, what does it say? Hang on, let me see. It says Viva la vida. I can't see. So Viva la vida in her hair. You can barely see that. I just love her face on this too. But lots of detail, lots of color changes. But I am stitching this on 36 count vintage country mocha. And I wanted it to be just a little bit of a tighter and smaller. So I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2, and this is all DMC. So this is my little start last night. But it is 36 count. My Dames of the Needle, I'm using 32 count. So on that one, I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2 threads. On this one, I'm using 1 strand over 2. And I can share this one with you and not tell Kim to look away because she knows all about it because she picked it out. So I picked out mine, she picked out hers, and it's been fun to stitch this or to get this going. And I've had it kitted up for a while. So I'm looking forward to making some progress on this. So those are my whips that I started last night and this morning, my first time to put my needle in my hand in the last few weeks. So that was a lot of fun to get started. So those are my 2 whips, and I'm going to show you my haul and my gifts that I've received over the last few weeks. So let me get myself a little bit organized doing that. I joined the Fat Quarter Shop Silk Floss of the Month, I think is what it's called. It's the Silk Floss of the Month Club. So each month you get a package of silk floss that is in the same color palette. And you can do this with Weeks Dye Works, you can do it with Classic Color Works, or with the MPI Silk, all through Fat Quarter Shop. I chose to go with the Silk Club because I do not have a lot of silk floss, and I thought this would be a great way to build up my stash. And you can do this with floss, you can do it with fabric. So many companies and online stores have similar clubs, and the purpose of those clubs is to get you to build your stash. So I chose to do this one for this year. Next year I might do a linen or a fabric club, but I'm enjoying getting a little happy in the mail from them every month. And one month, I believe this one came in March. This is all the pinks. And this came this month in April, all the neutral colors. So I love MPI silks. They're one of my favorite silks to work with. And then I received from Acorns and Thread a kit from Acorns and Thread, and it is the entire kit for a heartstring samplery exclusive kit to Acorns and Thread. This one is Winter Comes, and I just love anything winter, but I really like heartstring samplery. So I got the whole kit. This comes with Lakeside Linen, 36 count vintage wood smoke, and the floss. All the floss is Weeks Dye Works. And then it came with some stickers and a needle minder and the needle. But here's wood smoke, which is a beautiful linen. Look how pretty. It's sort of a smoky tan. Really good color combination. So that kit came, and here are the stickers. Excuse me, it's not a needle minder. It looks like it is a corner gauge. It is, it's a corner gauge. And it is a blend of their logos with Acorns and Thread and heartstring samplery. But here are the stickers that came with it. we have to have our stickers right now, right? To go in our book of days and in our planners. So my book of days have been a little bit empty, so I've got to get those back in the swing of things. So here's the pattern again. This is Winter Comes, and it's a beautiful book. And you have the option, you can switch the linen to a darker linen. And the stitch count on this is 189 by 123. So that'll be fun to start this summer. For winter, for Christmas. And then I got from Annabella's, I didn't even open it yet. That's how crazy it's been. I have had mail come in and I just haven't had a chance to get to it, or it's been redirected from, you know, the change of address from one place to the next. But these are the things I wanted to get at market, but I just didn't. And so I got them from Annabella's. These are all luminous fiber arts. This is Mousecapades 1, Mice on Ice. I just love mice. Aren't they cute? So sweet. This is Mousecapades 2, On the Housetop. And then to go with my companion piece here, Counting is Hard, this is Friendship Series, Stitching Birds. This one I will finish into a pillow. I think that's so sweet. I just love that. The blue, and at the bottom it has the measuring tape. You can sew some buttons on it. It has the DMC floss wrapped on it, and so your scissors. You can do your initials and your friend's initials. So cute. I think that's just so sweet. So that is called Friendship Series Stitching Birds. And I ordered those from Annabella's, and she has an Etsy shop online. I'll link everything below. And then the last of the things that came in this is from Needlework Press. This is M+A 1853. And Anne Gott, also from Needlework Press. And from Heartstring Samplery, Small Samplings 1. And then I got some wooden boards from Stitch Etc. Kim Gavlik sent these to me to do some finishing on. I love this size board. I will link her shop below as well. You can go on their Facebook page or email them directly to place an order. She has many different size boards. She has many different colors, and they make wonderful finishing pieces. The For a Friend piece I have right here is finished on one of her boards. So I love her boards, and look how thick they are. A very nice quality. And then courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop, I got a box, and some of these will be giveaways for next week. Oh, here's another piece of my, this was for March. So this was February, March, and April of my floss. So that's the green and the silks. But then from Fat Quarter Shop, they sent us so many wonderful things. We have some quilt patterns, and I'll show these in more detail next week. But this is Away We Go by It's So Emma. This is Poinsettia, also from It's So Emma. And Rockin' Around, and that's a great one. You can do it in so many different colors, but it's a tree design quilt pattern. And then Bloom Where You're Planted. This is a fun cross stitch design. You can do this as one big piece or 3 smaller pieces with the bee in the middle. I just love that. I will link all of these below. You can go directly there and place your order, or you can come back next week and try to enter for the giveaway. Also, that came from Fat Quarter Shop, fresh out of the box. And I love this. This is too heavy for me to mail, but I will put the link below. This is the Bee's Knees book stand. So this comes in this beautiful box. It's a metal board, and it comes with a handle on the board. Great. And I'll open it and show it to you next week. But it's a metal board and a metal stand, a lot like a cookbook stand, and you can put your quilting books or your cross stitch books in there and put a magnet on it and hold it in place and have it standing up. So if you're working from a table, you can see it and it stands just where you need it to be. A few other things that came in over the last few months. Rebecca Stewart Needle Made Designs. This is from Needle Made Designs, but this is Rebecca Stewart. And I just love this piece. It's a big one. This reminds me a lot of the floral motif sampler that I'm doing from Scarlet House. So this is Rebecca Stewart. And this is a smaller one, also from Needle Made Designs. This is Barb's Birds. So if you're like me and you love birds, this is a beautiful little piece. You can frame this. My friend Kay has a bird wall. So she has a lot of cross stitch pieces of birds on her wall, which is why I stitched her the cardinal. But this would be so sweet if you have something like that. It would also make a great framed piece, but I loved that. But here it is on the back, how they framed it. And then a very exciting, another Caterpillar cross stitch mystery stitch along that I am joining is a Halloween stitch along. And I got this in the mail and it is so much fun. I will insert some photos for y'all while I get all this out. I'll start inserting some photos. This is called Touch of Magic, and everything you need for this stitch along is in the case. I love Caterpillar cross stitches kits because they're so organized, so easy. I love the way that they wrap all the floss you need on these cards, so everything is in one place. The fabric that I chose is the 14 count Ada, and it is a nice gray color. I will open this up and share it with you, but if you are interested and would like to join us, you do get a discount for being my viewer, and I will link all that below. You get a 10% discount, and it comes with this adorable, you can also order this adorable cat needle minder. So I've inserted some photos. I'm going to include their website below. You can go directly there and place your order, and make sure you take advantage of that discount if you're interested. But I really I am enjoying their garden series and their gnome, How Does Your Garden Grow? A mystery stitch along. So follow the link below and you're welcome to join us. That will start, I'm not sure when it starts, I'll have to look, but I think it starts in end of May, early June. So I received a wonderful surprise from my friend Dawn Eck. Some of my friends decided to take a trip to Wisconsin to go to Country Sampler, and I was not able to go due to all the things going on in my house, but they did not forget about me, and they shared some of their sweet treats from their trip. But my friend Dawn X sent me a lovely project bag, and I just love it. I think I'm going to put Tom's Foolery in here, which is a Hands Across the Sea pattern that I have kitted and ready to go. I just haven't started it, but Dawn is also stitching it, and I think that would make it, this is a perfect bag for that. So thank you, Dawn. That's a sweet gift. And then last but not least, I do have a few more things that came in. This is from Thread Milk, and I just love all of her designs. But threadmilkdesigns.com is her website. But this is Cozy Christmas Cottage. This was a spring release, and this has several patterns in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cute little Christmas designs. But Thread Milk, she does everything from scissor fobs to thread rings to patterns to just all kinds of wonderful accessories. So go and check out her website. Here's another one I got for Halloween. This is from the Bowl series, so this is for Halloween. I got her bunny series. I got the Easter ones, but this one's for Halloween. It's called This Is Halloween. And I love Halloween stitching, but this one's super cute too. So she has some wonderful designs that came out this year. Oh, look at me, I have some thread on me. That came out this year. So threadmilkdesigns.com. I'll link her below. She also has a Flosstube channel. So those are all of my whips, my haul, my life updates, all of those things. I will come back my regular schedule on Thursdays. I will start doing the Quaker series again. A lot of you have asked me about that. I'm still settling into my place, so give me just a few more weeks. And if you are still waiting on something from me in the mail, I have not forgotten about you. I found my box. I will get everything shipped this week that has not shipped already. I appreciate your patience. Moving is no joke. So it has been just a lot of interesting experiences going on over the last few weeks. So, but we are settled in, we're happy. I think we're going to like the smaller size, the lower maintenance. That's a great location. We're closer to so many other things that we like to do in town. So it's a good transition for us. But thank you so much for your patience and for all your messages. I really do appreciate it. But come back next week. We will have our giveaways for our 1-year anniversary. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff. So until then, enjoy your stitching. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you next week. Hey guys, I'm Annie, and I am the Proper Stitcher, and as promised, I am going to give you a very quick tour of my new sewing space. This space is a lot smaller than my previous home, but I still wanted to share it with you because I think no matter the size or no matter the space that you have, you can still create something wonderful. It does not matter if it is tiny or just a chair in your living room, you can still create something wonderful. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you my space and hopefully give you some ideas on how to organize in a smaller space. So here we go. Let me see. Okay, so starting in this room, I'm going to kind of pan around a little bit and let you see just sort of a bird's eye view of what I have. This is like a loft space in the condo where we're staying, or a villa. So it's very tiny. And then here's the door. And I'm going to try really hard not to make you all car sick. So you walk in the door, and I had to become really creative with the space that I have. So this is a space, a piece that we got at a local store, and it's just painted this beautiful vintage blue. I love blue. You all know I love blue. And I'm using it sort of as a catch-all. I've never had a television in my sewing room before, but we had an extra TV that needed a home, and Matt thought it would be nice for me to have a TV up here so I can watch YouTube or listen to music or whatever. So in this space, in this cabinet or shelving unit, I have 2 drawers at the top, and this is where I keep my label maker and my cards for my library cards. These are the Lori Holt cards. I'll link these below, but these are great for putting on the back of your cross stitch pieces, and you can list all the information that you have. This is from Bee in My Bonnet. You can see that there. I have my collection of needle minders. I can't talk. This is my collection of vintage pin cushions, and a very sweet viewer made this for me last year and sent it to me. So that is on my stand as well. And here, this is kind of a junk drawer. Right now I have my smaller project bags and my Ort containers in here. So as of now, that's what this drawer is for. It may have a different purpose. I got these wonderful boxes at the Container Store, and they hold everything from stickers to finishing pieces to stamps to odds and ends like that. Same with these. These have some finishing trim. I think one of these has finishing. This is all of my scissor fob kits and materials. This is all of my floral for finishing pieces, and this is more of my finishing pieces. And at the bottom, I have all of my project bags. Let me fix those. At the bottom, I have all of my project bags. They're not organized yet. They're just sort of stacked, but they do have projects in them. Over here, I have more space for my trims and chenille trims and rickrack and things like that. This I use to keep, this is just a clean trash bin that I have. And of course it has to be colored, it's pink. And it just has my polyfill fiber filling for stuffing pillows. These are just things I have not found a home for yet. A couple of frame pieces and my paper cutter. This is my wonderful Wayfair table. I love this table. I got it last year for my birthday for my sewing room. And I keep my big rulers here. I just hang them on these command strips hooks. So they're easy to get to, wonderful. And on both sides I have cubbies and I have drawers. So I have everything from finishing frames. Usually I kept these in a closet, but I don't have any closet space here. And then I have some more finishing pieces. I have some DMC down there. And then a basket that's waiting for me to put more storage things in. On this side, I have all of my glue sticks and my fabric adhesives there. Over here is my sewing table. This is still sort of a work in progress. I haven't used it since I've moved, but there's my sewing machine. At the bottom, I have some scrap bins. Still trying to figure out what I'm doing with those. My thread, I used to have this hanging on the wall. Not sure how I'm going to store it here. This is the opening to the downstairs that I was telling you about. So this opens up down to my living room. And you can see my dog's bed's down there. So you'll get some ambient noise from the from my household. So my bookshelves, right? They're back together, pretty much like they were before. Here's my bolt of fabric, my fat quarter bundles, and my charm packs. These boxes up here are also from the Container Store, and I am storing in these boxes all of my linen and cross-stitch fabric. So in one box I have 36 count, one box I have 40 count and higher, and on the other side I have 32 count and 28 count and below. So these are my the doors of my bookshelves, and they're still a work in progress too. Down here inside of my bookshelves I have all of my just odds and end fabric in half put together quilting squares. I have my little LaHaye shaker caddy with some of my cross stitch pillows. And then here's some of my quilting books and Quaker sample research books. And then just a display of a jelly roll. And then this, y'all remember, this is the with my needle and thread sewing mice. One of my finishes from last year. And then over here, in this box, I keep all of my cards and correspondence I received from y'all. And just some displays. These are all of the Lori Holt buttons. I just put them in a small mason jar that I had, and my cute little vintage girl with her safety pin on her dress. This is a for a friend from, I believe, October House or October Flower. I can't remember. My friend Kim stitched that for me, but I finished it on one of her boards using some of Lori Holt's buttons and Chelsea checks and Lori Holt rickrack. And then in these boxes here, I have some more linen in fabric, cross-stitch fabric stashed. And then here is my Counting is Hard piece that I finished. And my Humpty Dumpty, or Matthew's Humpty Dumpty from when he was little. And in all of these magazine holders are all of my patterns. Right now they are, and I'm waiting on a few more to arrive in the mail, but right now they are organized by designer. So that's how, and then if I have any odds and ends and I don't have a lot of designer or a lot of pieces from a particular designer, I put all of those in one magazine holder together. But for the most part, they're all by designer. And then over here is my buffalo check recliner, and I just got this from Home Depot. You can get it from their website. It's nothing special. It's very it does the job. It's comfortable, but it's not something you'd want to put in your primary room for guests to sit on. It's not for long term. for comfort. This is a tiered thing on rollers that I got from TJ Maxx. I'm waiting on a magnetic one to come in. It's a little bigger, and then I'm going to put my needle minders on the magnetic side, and I think it'll have more function to it. And then coming around here, this is my basket that I keep all of my current whips in. And over here I have my mailers, my, postage stash that I'm shipping out to you guys. A travel lamp, my Fat Quarter Shop, Lori Holt stand for stitching. And this piece here I got from Hobby Lobby. This is where I keep all of my floss, and right now it's not the way I want to keep it, but they are divided by company or brand. So we have all the weeks together, we have all the classic color works together, but they're not organized the way I want them right now. And then on the top here, I have all my needle minders. And then I'm going to end up, I'm trying to find something I want to hang here. I do have some pieces from like my sister that she painted for me, and some other things I'm going to put there. But that's it. This is my cozy little space. And here's the top of my table, my cutting table. So I have everything I need right here. It's not too big, not too small. But I'm happy to finally have everything in one place. So now you know where I am creating some cross stitch and quilting pieces. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.